Close your eyes for a moment and listen carefully, not just with your ears, but with the quiet place inside you where truth is heard more clearly than noise. Tonight is not just another night. Tonight is a turning point, though it may look ordinary. The mind often believes that change must arrive with thunder and lightning, but the deepest transformations begin in silence. A seed does not shout when it breaks the soil. Yet one day it becomes a truth. For many days, months, perhaps even years, you may have felt that your financial life is stuck. You may have believed that money flows easily to others but not to you. These thoughts quietly build walls around the mind. And when the mind builds walls, opportunities cannot easily enter. Wealth is not only a number in a bank account, it is first a state of awareness. When the mind is closed by fear, doubt, and scarcity, abundance waits patiently outside. But something powerful happens when awareness changes. Listen carefully tonight, because the next 7 days are not about luck or coincidence. They are about alignment. The universe responds not to what we wish in passing, but to the energy we hold consistently. When the mind learns to release fear and replace it with calm certainty, life begins to move differently. Think of water flowing in a river. If stones block the path, the water slows down or changes direction. But when the stones are removed, the river flows naturally again. In the same way, financial struggle is often the result of unseen stones in the mind, beliefs like, I will never have enough, or money is always difficult to earn. These thoughts quietly guide our actions, our decisions, and even the opportunities we notice. Tonight, something simple begins. Instead of repeating the old story of lack, a new awareness is planted. Over the next 7 days, your focus will shift from scarcity to possibility. You will begin to notice ideas you once ignored. Conversations will feel different. Opportunities that once passed unnoticed will suddenly appear clearer. This is not magic, it is clarity. When the mind becomes calm and open, it begins to see what was always there. During these 7 days, practice one quiet habit before sleep and when you wake. See your life as if stability and financial ease are already growing toward you. Do not imagine it with desperation. Imagine it with peace, the same way you expect the sun to rise each morning without worry. Feel gratitude even before the results appear. Gratitude changes the atmosphere of the mind. It tells the universe that you are ready to receive rather than chase. You may notice small shifts first, a new idea, an unexpected message, a moment of courage to take action where you once hesitated. These small moments are the beginning of larger change. Many people ignore them because they expect miracles to arrive loudly, but real transformation often whispers before it roars. Remember this, wealth grows best in a mind that is calm, patient, and aware. Desperation pushes opportunities away, but steady belief invites them closer. So tonight, release the heavy thoughts that say nothing will change. They are only old echoes, not truth. Let them pass like clouds moving across the sky. For the next 7 days, walk with quiet confidence. Observe the world with new eyes. Speak about your future with calm certainty. And most importantly, trust that change begins long before it appears outside. A week from now, you may look back at this moment and realize something subtle yet powerful shifted. Not because the world suddenly became generous, but because your awareness opened the door that was always there. And sometimes, one open door is all it takes to change everything. Inner awareness creates outer wealth. Financial change begins in the mind. When a person shifts from thoughts of scarcity to thoughts of possibility and abundance, their actions and opportunities begin to change. Many people spend years believing that financial success is determined only by external circumstances, luck, connections, or opportunities given by others. Yet the deeper truth is that every external result begins first within the mind. Before wealth appears in the outer world, it must first exist as a quiet shift in awareness. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever beliefs are planted within it slowly grow into the reality a person experiences. If the mind is constantly repeating thoughts of lack, fear, and limitation, those thoughts quietly shape decisions, actions, and expectations. Over time, they influence the direction of a person's life without them even realizing it. When someone believes that money is always difficult to obtain, they begin to move through the world with hesitation. They may ignore opportunities because they assume success is unlikely. They may avoid learning new skills because they believe it will not make a difference. Even when a chance appears, doubt whispers that it will not work. In this way, the belief becomes a self-fulfilling pattern. The mind does not simply observe reality, it participates in creating it. However, when awareness begins to change, something powerful happens. A person who shifts from scarcity thinking to possibility thinking begins to notice things that were always present but previously invisible. Opportunities often exist quietly in everyday life, in conversations, ideas, collaborations, or creative solutions. Yet the mind must be open to see them. Just as a person looking at the night sky can suddenly notice a star they had never seen before. The same world can reveal new possibilities when perception changes. This shift does not require forcing the mind or pretending that difficulties do not exist. Instead, it begins with calm observation. A person starts to notice their own thoughts about money, success, and worth. They begin to question whether these thoughts are absolute truths or simply old stories repeated for many years. Often, these beliefs were inherited from past experiences, family attitudes, or moments of failure that left strong impressions. But past experiences do not have the power to define the future unless they are continuously repeated in the mind. When a person gently replaces these limiting ideas with a broader perspective, the inner atmosphere begins to change. Instead of thinking there is never enough, the mind begins to consider new opportunities can appear. Instead of assuming failure, the mind becomes curious about possibility. This change may seem small, but it alters the way a person moves through life. Their posture becomes more confident, their conversations more open, and their willingness to take thoughtful action increases. Financial growth often follows this internal transformation because actions start to align with a new mindset. People begin exploring ideas they once dismissed. They learn skills that expand their abilities. They recognize connections between problems and solutions that previously went unnoticed. What once looked like an ordinary day becomes a landscape filled with potential. In this way, wealth is not only a result of effort in the outside world. It begins with the quiet realization that the mind itself is the doorway through which new financial realities can enter. When awareness expands and beliefs shift toward possibility, the path that once seemed blocked slowly begins to open. And sometimes the moment that inner understanding changes is the same moment a completely different future quietly begins to form. Limiting beliefs block financial flow. Negative beliefs like money is hard to earn or I will never have enough act like stones in a river, slowing or blocking the natural flow of opportunities and prosperity. Limiting beliefs are often invisible yet profoundly powerful. They act like hidden currents beneath the surface of a river, directing the flow of energy and opportunity without the person even realizing it. Many individuals carry beliefs about money and success that were formed early in life. Perhaps from observing their environment, hearing repeated messages from family or society, or experiencing setbacks that left a deep impression. These beliefs, once established, tend to operate automatically, shaping decisions and behaviors in ways that feel natural but are often restrictive. For instance, if someone grows up hearing that money is always hard to come by or wealthy people are greedy, these ideas quietly become rules that guide their actions. The mind, seeking consistency, aligns with these rules, and the external world often mirrors these internal patterns. The result is that financial struggles are not only repeated but also reinforced by the very thoughts meant to help the individual navigate life. These limiting beliefs create walls in the mind. When a person believes that opportunities are rare, they may unconsciously avoid situations where wealth could flow to them. They may hesitate to apply for a new job, start a business, or explore a creative idea, fearing it will fail before even trying. Such beliefs also distort perception, causing the person to focus more on obstacles than solutions. Small opportunities that might have led to significant progress are dismissed or overlooked. Just like a river encountering a rock, the flow slows, changes direction, or stagnates altogether. These rocks are not external, they are internal patterns of thought. Without awareness, a person may spend a lifetime swimming against invisible currents, wondering why progress feels so slow, while the real obstruction is their own mental programming. However, these limiting beliefs are not permanent. Awareness is the first step toward change. When a person begins to notice the thoughts that block growth, they can examine them without judgment. By observing the mind's patterns and questioning their validity, a space is created where new possibilities can emerge. For example, recognizing that the thought, "I am not capable of wealth," is just a story and idea, not a fact, weakens its power. Once a person begins to challenge these assumptions, the walls in the mind begin to crumble. This process requires patience and mindfulness, as deeply rooted beliefs do not dissolve instantly. But even small cracks in these mental walls allow opportunities to flow through. Replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones changes the energy around financial decisions. Thoughts like "I am capable of creating abundance" or "opportunities exist, and I am ready to receive them" begin to influence behavior in tangible ways. Confidence grows, risk is approached with discernment rather than fear, and awareness opens to the possibilities that were always present but previously unnoticed. These shifts may seem subtle at first, small actions, fleeting inspirations, or new connections, but they gradually accumulate, guiding a person toward a different reality. Ultimately, the mind is the gateway through which financial reality is created. Limiting beliefs block this gateway, but once they are recognized and released, the natural flow of opportunity and abundance can enter. Wealth, like water, moves most freely through open channels. By identifying and letting go of the unseen stones of fear, doubt, and scarcity, we can break free from the chains that bind us. A person aligns with the natural currents of prosperity that were present all along, allowing a new financial reality to emerge. 7 days of conscious alignment. The next week represents a period of intentional mental alignment, focusing on calm confidence, openness, and readiness to receive opportunities rather than fear or doubt. The idea of a 7-day period for conscious alignment is both simple and profound. Often we underestimate the power of focused intention over a short, defined period of time. The mind is like a garden. Even a week of deliberate attention can begin to alter the growth of thought patterns. When a person dedicates themselves to a week of consistent awareness, the energy they cultivate begins to influence both their perception and their actions. During these 7 days, every thought, every moment of attention, and every subtle shift in awareness contributes to the creation of a new internal landscape. The mind learns to notice abundance instead of lack, opportunity instead of limitation, and possibility instead of fear. This is not about forcing results or expecting sudden miracles, but about gently guiding the consciousness to align with the natural currents of prosperity. Change is rarely immediate, yet even small shifts during these 7 days create openings that allow a different reality to gradually manifest. Each day of this week serves as a practice in observation and intentional thought. The first step is awareness, noticing recurring thoughts about money and success without judgment. This simple act of observation illuminates patterns that often operate unconsciously. Once these patterns are recognized, the individual can begin to consciously direct attention toward more constructive, positive beliefs. Over the next few days, this focus becomes a habit. As the mind repeatedly chooses to see opportunities, possibilities that were once hidden begin to emerge. Small insights or ideas may appear at unexpected moments, a solution to a long-standing financial problem, a new connection, or a subtle opportunity that was previously unnoticed. These occurrences are signs that the alignment is taking place, that the internal focus is beginning to influence the external world. Patience and consistency are essential during this 7-day period. The mind resists change because old habits feel familiar and safe, even if they are limiting. Each day, a person must consciously return to the practice of openness and attentiveness. Simple exercises such as reflecting on gratitude for what one already has, visualizing financial ease, or setting calm intentions before sleep help to reinforce this alignment. These practices act like gentle rain, nourishing the soil of the mind, preparing it for the growth of new patterns. The power of this practice lies not in force, but in gentle persistence. 7 days may seem brief, yet concentrated awareness over this time is often enough to create a noticeable shift in perception, which in turn begins to shape actions and opportunities. By the end of the week, the cumulative effect of mindful attention becomes tangible. The individual may notice that decisions feel clearer, obstacles seem less imposing, and opportunities that were previously overlooked now appear visible. This is the natural result of aligning thought, intention, and action. What began as a simple practice of 7 days has begun to reprogram the mind to operate from possibility rather than limitation. Over time, these small shifts continue to grow, ultimately creating a lasting transformation in financial awareness and action. In this way, 7 days of conscious alignment is not merely a short-term exercise. It is the planting of a seed whose roots will deepen and whose branches will expand, guiding a person toward a future shaped by awareness, clarity, and opportunity. Small signs lead to big changes. Financial transformation often begins with subtle signals, new ideas, unexpected conversations, or small opportunities that appear when the mind becomes more aware. Financial transformation often begins with small, subtle signals that many people overlook. These signs may appear as fleeting ideas, unexpected conversations, or moments of intuition that seem almost accidental. Yet they are the universe's way of guiding awareness toward opportunity. Often people expect change to arrive as a dramatic event, a sudden windfall, a new job, or a remarkable stroke of luck, but true transformation usually whispers before it roars. It begins quietly in the corners of everyday life, requiring the mind to be open and attentive. The small signals are markers, gentle nudges that indicate when a shift in perception is ready to take hold. Recognizing them requires mindfulness, the practice of observing life without distraction or judgment, and the courage to act when the signals appear. For example, one might receive a new idea during a casual conversation, an insight into a financial strategy, or a creative solution to a problem that had previously seemed unsolvable. These moments often pass unnoticed when the mind is preoccupied with worry, self-doubt, or routine habits. Yet they hold immense power. Acting upon them, even in small ways, sets the momentum for larger changes. Each subtle opportunity carries the potential to expand into something far greater than its initial appearance. Like a seed planted in fertile soil, the smallest signal, if nurtured, can grow into a robust and enduring result. The key is awareness, the ability to see the moment as meaningful rather than dismissing it as coincidence or irrelevant. The mind must also cultivate trust in these small signs. When change begins in whispers, impatience or skepticism can block progress. Many people abandon emerging opportunities simply because they cannot yet see the full outcome or doubt that a minor insight could lead to meaningful results. But transformation rarely announces itself fully in the beginning. Just as a river begins as a tiny stream before flowing into a vast current, financial shifts often start with small, subtle movements. Recognizing these movements requires patience and a willingness to follow gentle guidance even when it feels uncertain. Acting consistently on small signals creates patterns of behavior and awareness that compound over time, forming a foundation for more visible success. Another aspect of these subtle signals is timing. Often, a small opportunity appears precisely when the mind is ready to receive it, not necessarily when it seems convenient or dramatic. This is why awareness and receptivity are crucial. When a person maintains openness and clarity, they are more likely to notice these moments and respond appropriately. By contrast, distraction, negativity, or attachment to old patterns can obscure the signals, causing the same opportunity to pass unnoticed. The practice of observing life calmly with attention to detail and a willingness to act thoughtfully ensures that subtle signs are not wasted. Ultimately, financial transformation is less about sudden dramatic events and more about cultivating sensitivity to these subtle signals. Small ideas, fleeting insights, and gentle nudges become powerful catalysts when the mind is alert, open, and willing to act. Over time, recognizing and responding to these whispers shapes behavior, decisions, and awareness, creating a natural flow toward abundance. By honoring these subtle signs, the mind aligns with opportunity, and the journey toward financial change unfolds in ways that feel organic, effortless, and deeply aligned with one's inner clarity. The quiet whispers are the beginning of a ripple which, with attention and action, grows into a river of tangible results. Gratitude and calm belief attract abundance. Practicing gratitude and visualizing financial stability with peace, not desperation, creates the mindset that invites prosperity and positive outcomes into life. Gratitude and calm belief form the foundation for attracting abundance because they change the energy through which a person experiences life. Many people focus solely on striving, effort, and planning, thinking that success depends entirely on external action. Yet the state of the mind is equally important. When the mind is tense, desperate, or fixated on lack, it creates an invisible barrier that blocks opportunities, and clouded judgment prevents recognition of potential pathways. In contrast, when a person approaches life with gratitude, even for small blessings, the mind opens to the flow of possibility. Gratitude shifts focus from what is missing to what is already present, creating a sense of fullness and alignment. It is not simply a polite acknowledgement of existing comforts, it is an active tuning of awareness to notice abundance already in motion. This awareness primes the mind to recognize and receive even greater possibilities. Calm belief works in harmony with gratitude. Belief is not the same as wishful thinking. It is a quiet, steady confidence that the right circumstances will align with readiness. When the mind holds this calm assurance, actions emerge from clarity rather than anxiety, and decisions are guided by insight rather than fear. Calm belief allows a person to navigate challenges without panic, to see obstacles as temporary rather than permanent, and to find a way forward despite the obstacles, and to approach opportunities with discernment rather than hesitation. It communicates to the inner self that the person is ready to receive, creating a resonance that attracts circumstances aligned with growth. In this state, financial opportunities, insights, and helpful connections often appear naturally, as if the mind itself has prepared the way for them. Practicing gratitude and calm belief also cultivates patience. True transformation rarely occurs overnight, yet many give up because results do not appear immediately. By focusing on gratitude for what exists and maintaining faith in unfolding possibilities, the mind develops patience and trust. Each day becomes a practice of noticing progress, however small, and acknowledging that the journey itself contributes to growth. This approach reduces stress and fear, which are common blocks to prosperity. When the mind is calm, it can respond creatively, recognize opportunities that might otherwise be missed, and sustain the energy necessary to follow through on emerging possibilities. Patience combined with consistent awareness nurtures a fertile mental environment where abundance can take root. Another important aspect is that gratitude and calm belief amplify action. When a person operates from a place of fear or desperation, actions tend to be reactive and scattered. In contrast, actions born of awareness and confidence are deliberate, thoughtful, and aligned with long-term outcomes. This alignment increases the likelihood that small efforts will lead to meaningful results, turning seemingly minor steps into significant progress over time. Gratitude reinforces this cycle, as recognizing small successes encourages continued effort without strain or frustration, maintaining harmony between thought and action. Ultimately, wealth and abundance are as much about the state of the mind as about external circumstances. By cultivating gratitude and calm belief, a person shifts their internal energy toward openness, receptivity, and clarity. This shift transforms how opportunities are perceived, decisions are made, and actions are executed. In this way, abundance is invited naturally, like sunlight filling a room when the blinds are opened. The mind that embraces calm belief and gratitude becomes a magnet for opportunity. And what may have seemed distant or impossible begins to unfold with effortless alignment. The practice is subtle, yet its effects are profound, creating a pathway to prosperity that flows gently, steadily, and inevitably.